All right, everyone. Good afternoon, all, and welcome to this masterclass on maritime focused Excel and BI course. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Always pleasure to host um, the audience and, of course, the experts, the panelists. And let me start by taking a poll question from all of you. Can you see the presentation and where did you hear about the webinar from?
Hello, Captain Gaurav here. Captain Gaurav, Abhishek here. Yeah. So I have seen this webinar post on LinkedIn and also through the C Beyond post. So I'm very happy to join the course because I have seen many places that Power BI is being used. So I just want to know more about it. Thank you.
Glad that you have joined us, Abhishek, and we'll of course talk about this and also the use cases, how industry has benefited, how people have benefited using Power BI. To present this webinar, we have Captain Shailesh Bhambani. We've got Tiju Chandy, Captain Amandeep Bhalla, Jayashri, Captain Gaurav Kullu, and myself. I run C and Beyond, and it's my pleasure to have all the panelists and of course all of you come and join for the webinar as such. We move to the next slide. All right, the reason for doing this webinar is essentially to increase your awareness. As Abhishek mentioned, that a lot of us, we probably know about a certain tools. We understand that they may be helpful, how they may be helpful. It's all hearsay. But what we try to do through these webinars is tell you the actual use cases of these tools. Why is it important? Um, Tell you the relevance. The reason is once we do that, you can take a well-informed decision by talking from the doyens of the industry, from the people who have actually been at a level, who have either used it. They can tell you the benefits, the disadvantages, if at all, and so that you can take a well-informed decision. That's the reason why we are doing this webinar. The speaking rights are given to the host and the presenters. I'll request everyone, if you have any comments, you may please write it down in the chat window. The questions we'll be taking at the end, and all the questions will be taken. But if you have any question, please put it on the chat window. The questions we may be able to take, some specific questions, but many generic ones. Specific questions could be taken at the end of the webinar on a one-to-one basis as well. And we'll share the slides with you later on as well. Yep, I briefly told you about the names of our presenters. So it's a pleasure to introduce the presenters over here. We've got Captain Shailesh, who's sailed on with Anglo-Eastern BW Group. He sailed as master. Ashore, he was with Scorpio and had leadership role with Afco Energy, wherein he was engaged in oil and polymer trading, secured multi-million-dollar contracts, and established various verticals. He's currently working in Smart Ship Hub. It's a marine tech company, and he's the person who essentially uses a lot of IT tools, Excel and BI probably being the more basic ones of them. And he tells the industry basically on the uses of various technology and how these could be used as well. Tiju over here is a chief engineer, 20 plus years of sailing experience, various kind of vessels, in fact, all kind of vessels, if I may say. He's assisted Synergy with the digitization process. He's worked ashore for a few years with them. And then he's back to sailing too, but he's conducted industry-focused Excel sessions for the Miko and for other companies as well. He's, the quintessential techie in our team, and and then he brings the technology experience, the technology expertise to the course as well. We've got Captain Amandeep Bhalla. Captain Aman has been at sea for 20 years, and he sailed with Volume Ship Management and MMS tankers with 5 years in command. He stepped ashore 10 years back and has been working with Damiko Ship Ishima India Private Limited as a marine head of India. He's currently leading a team of marine superintendents and marine executives to handle HACQ and vetting assurance tasks for 48 plus vessels consisting of oil chemical tankers, bulk carriers out of Mumbai office. And his profile also includes handling third-party owned vessels management and marine operations. LC auditor holding training for behavior competence, assessment and verification, and train the trainer as per TMSA, and successfully completed resilient leadership development programs. One of the other programs which Captain Amandeep has also been part of is on the Excel and BI program, and he'll talk about more about how this was implemented in his own company. We move to the next slide, please. We've got Jayashri over here. Jayashri is a corporate Excel trainer. She's, she does Excel training for her living, and she's an amazing trainer. Very, very knowledgeable. Very, the way she explains all the trainings is amazing. And in all our trainings, essentially in the last 1.5 years, we have had the pleasure of working with Jayashri as well. She's also a regular visiting faculty at the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Pune. We've also had Captain Gaurav Kullu as well. He's a master mariner, 21 years of sailing experience on oil tankers, 2 years plus experience as marine faculty. He's someone who's not only has a knowledge, but executes that knowledge a lot in his personal and professional life as well. He's done his course on my, and he's NISF us over here, and it's really a pleasure to have all of you come in this session. We move to the next slide, please, Smita. All right. Just what's the market scenario and why we are doing this course? From the company standpoint, companies are focusing on efficiency on getting a work done. They understand that technology is probably the best way forward, and they need relevant professionals. Who is the most relevant professional for a maritime company? Someone who has experience in shipping, who understands what maritime means, and then someone who can understand technology and probably can do some hands-on work, right? Someone who can start to contribute from day one. The companies are unfortunately unable to find such persons, right? From the candidate standpoint, technology is something which everyone is fascinated with. They want to start upskilling. They don't know where to upskill from. Where are all the relevant courses available? And even if there are courses available, is there any course which gets into the maritime and the technology, both these spaces together? And how do they get a job? So that's the market scenario. And in order to bridge this gap, we move to the next slide, Smita. We've got C and Beyond, wherein our view is to assist the industry, the companies to find relevant talent who understand both the shipping and a bit of technology, and for all the people to upskill themselves. We have designed this course on Excel and BI, and we've trained probably about 150 odd people till now. We've done training for a few companies as well, and we'll talk more about the use cases of Excel, BI, and other things as well. Before we move forward, let me take a poll on just one moment. Okay, here is the poll on what do you guys feel? What is your view on data analysis? And after this poll, I will hand over to Shailesh for telling us more about digitization and Excel BI in shipping. We've been taking this poll for all our these webinars, and let's see how that has changed over the last year or so. Yep. Glad to see a lot of people have answered, and I'm sharing results. And I mean, the results have changed in the last 2 years. I'm sure when we first conducted this, there were few people who were saying it's all hype, a few more saying it's fancy, and very few who have experienced it. Now, the majority of us have experienced how technology is changing our landscape, and a few have heard about this affecting their professional lives. So that's good to know. And we move to the next one, Smita, and we'll have Captain Shailesh talk more about the data analysis. Over to you, Shailesh.
Firstly, thank you, Gaurav and See and Beyond team. I should say and compliment you guys for being over 2 years in conducting this seminar and the course. I think this is one of the most relevant courses that are there in the industry and the need of the hour. So, the congratulations to the 30 plus candidates who've actually joined in to look into what is there, because it's not only helping the candidates per se, but it is more importantly helping the companies. Because what happens is with us or any other company, the time to train the guys, time to teach them what data is, go through the basics. It does take a quarter, and that quarter is productive quarter, and time is money nowadays. So your course, Gaurav, I should say, is very helpful for not only the candidates but for the maritime companies as well. And that is why I think there's a lot of absorption for the course and relevant people who are joining in companies after that. So let me start off with the yeah, Gaurav. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. So let me start off with data analytics. I was very glad, as Gaurav already pointed out, that over the last 2 years, we've seen a lot of change in the poll that is there. Data analytics does not seem fancy at all. There is a huge number of percentage, and I'm very happy to see that 50% have experienced it, or 50% are already aware that it is going to affect their professional life. So the answer is data is something which you really can't ignore. And when it is so much data, today we go to buy want to buy a phone. There's a lot of, comparisons that happen on the website. Compare a iPhone with with a Samsung, with a Redmi, and they have all these data points, all these comparisons. And what does it help? What does it do? It gives you a comparison. It gives you insightful insights. It gives you the decision making power. So when we talk about our day-to-day life today, can we ignore maritime? We cannot. And can we ignore data in maritime? Absolutely not. According to studies, it is about 328.7 million terabytes of data that is created each day, and that equates to 120 zettabytes per year. I don't even know how many zeros are there in zettabytes, to be very honest. Yeah. But you can imagine your own phone capacity, right? 10 years back, I had a Google Cloud account wherein 5 GB was more than sufficient. Today, 200 GB is also not sufficient for me. Yeah. And my family, I need 1 terabyte. This is just a change in the last 10 years. Yeah. So imagine how the change is going to happen. And this is in our personal life. Yeah. Now imagine a vessel wherein you have the amount of data. So what we're going to cover and why I am here is to give you a very brief overview or a very high level overview. What is data? What is data analytics? Why is it important? How is it important? So what exactly is data analytics? You have a bunch of numbers, yeah, but you have to be very mindful. Garbage in, garbage out. Yeah. You can do a lot of analytics on any amount of data, but it has to be relevant data. It has to be clean data. It has to be normalized data. Because what happens is it is the data that converts raw data into data analytics is which converts the raw data into actionable insights. When I say actionable insights, is real world KPIs, real world the actions that need to be taken on a vessel when you're sitting ashore as a chief engineer or somebody who's operating a vessel. And why is data analytics important? It helps us improve efficiency, it helps us reduce costs, it helps us increase safety. And I would say there was a lot of skepticism about 5 years back when we started all the analytics and all. How can we convert this into real life? But today, as you yourself pointed out in the poll, that 50% are experiencing it, 50% are already, seeing that it is gonna affect. So yes, it is the right direction that data is used for. actionable insights. And how is it used? Because there are different tools, there are different methodologies, but I would say the most common, which is accessible to everyone. And again, this is where I would again like to compliment the C and Beyond team, is that they have gone to the basics. They have started off with Excel and Power BI. Yeah, they have started off with something which is readily available for everyone. They are not saying, okay, aap aa jao and then we'll take you to the moon straight away. That is not the case. They have told you, okay, let's start off with the basics. Let's start off with the fundamentals. And there are various tools in the market. There's various AI tools in the market, but it is again what you do out of the data. How do you use that data? And this is where this course actually helps you to understand the basics and the fundamentals. Smita, if you could change the screen. So when I talk of a single ship, yeah, I gave you this thing of 327 million data points every minute or every day. But from a single ship, we from a newer single ship, we get 4,500 data points every 15 seconds, every 1 second, every because it's data continuously transmitting. So you can imagine if I'm getting 4,000 data points every 15 seconds, how much data points I'm getting in a day. It is millions of data points I'm getting in a day from a single vessel. Imagine there are roughly 60,000 ships. And even if I talk about 10,000 ships which are connected, yeah, on the grid, as we say, yeah, you can imagine the amount of data points that has been generated on a single day. Now, how do we use and what are these data points? This is a just a brief interaction or a brief snapshot. The AIS is there. There is a ARPA. There is engine. There is flow meters. There is weather data. There is real-time data. All this data that is there. Anything electronic can transmit data. So today, even if you have an electronic watch that can transmit data, we can transmit it through APIs, we can transmit it to NMEA signals, or we can transmit it through conversion into Excel sheets or CSV formats. As long as it is digital, the data is there. Yeah, and it is to be used in the right manner. Smita, the next screen. So, keeping it brief here, what is the opportunities in maritime? So, it all depends on what your liking is, what your aptitude is, what your aspiration is, what is that you like to do. As the cliche, or they say, you should love your work. Yeah, not everybody is fortunate enough to be working what they love. Yeah, but here you would have the opportunity and the tools and the experience and expertise of Gaurav and his team, wherein they mentor, they actually help you guide into the right direction. With these webinars, with these courses, they actually showcase you the window to various opportunities that are there. We call it the fourth revolution. Yeah, what is the fourth revolution? It's Industry 4.0. So is it only data analytics? It's not. The data is used for various kind of things. When there is data, there is also crime. Yeah, you have cybersecurity. Yeah, so anything can be good for used for good purposes as well as for bad purposes. Yeah, so there is cybersecurity, there is virtual and augmented reality, there is advanced robotics, there is 3D printing. Everything needs data. Yeah, this is where you have to see that it is a plethora of opportunities that is arising in the maritime industry. It's a lot of time I have been asked, yeah, in various seminars and webinars, sir, ye and digitalization ke karan, how is the seafarers gonna lose jobs? How are the seafarers gonna, get affected? I would say in a positive manner. It is never have been a better time to be in maritime than now, because the maritime industry is going through a sea of change. Yeah, and this is where you have so many opportunities, not only while sailing but also ashore. Imagine, you love maths, you love analytics, you love automation, you love engineering, yeah, but you never had jobs ashore. You could be a marine engineer, you could become a superintendent, you'll become a fleet manager, and that's about it. But today that is not the case. You have a ton of opportunities, which was not earlier available to the maritime candidates, or the seafarer is available now. Smita, if we can go to the next one. So what is the career progression that you have? Mariners with data skill. Why we talk about mariners with data skill? Yeah. And this I have experienced personally in the last 3.5, 4 years. Yeah. We are a unique set of people, yeah, people who have sailed ashore or people who are connected with the maritime industry. Today, if I tell somebody I want to do bunker optimization and he's not from the maritime field, he does not even know what bunker is. Yeah. If I talk about certain things that, okay, the wind is head on. Yeah. The person does not know what wind head on means. Whereas the mariner, a person who has sailed or who's connected with the maritime field does know what a bunker is. So I don't have to, go back to basic fundamentals of shipping. The mariner is already skilled with it because at the end of the day, you do have coders, you have developers, you have BAs, you have QAs who are technology people who write the code, who write the programs, who build platforms and programs and the various softwares. Do you think they can differentiate between a HSFO and a LSMGO? No, they cannot. This is where the mariner with a skill. I'm giving you very basic examples. So a mariner is with unique skill sets of real maritime knowledge and understanding of the data that can better generate it. It is a coder. If a data comes in and vessel is consuming 200 tons of fuel, a coder will not know the difference between 200 tons of fuel if the vessel is consuming 20 tons or is designed to consume 20 tons. This is where the mariner comes into play. He exactly knows what the ship is capable of or what the vessel is capable of. It is the domain knowledge, it is the jargons, the use case that derive a lot of value for stakeholders. That is why today, uh, as we call it, SME, subject matter experts. There is no better subject matter experts than mariners. We have Captain Aman, we have the others who are subject matter experts. Tiju is there, Gaurav is there. They're subject matter experts in their organization. This is why they're driving the use cases. They are driving the digitalization journey in their companies and making a change. So data is not new. It is now that we more frequently use it and in more detail. Yeah. So there are various options that are available. There are various, I've just listed down a few of them, but there is even more entrepreneurship. Yeah. That is there. That opens up the opportunity for people who are a bit more risk they can get into various this thing. They can get into data science, they can get into product development, they can become business analyst or voyage performance managers or voyage analyst. And I'm sure there is another 30 odd job openings Gaurav will provide you once you do the course. He can actually show you that. Yeah. The next one, please. So with this, I would want to say, how do you leverage Excel? And Gaurav, you want to take the question today? There's a question that is there, or towards the end?
We'll
Some,
take the questions at the end.
okay. So maritime industry relies very heavily on data for effective decision making. So again, when I talk about ones and zeros, or as you see, nothing is if I talk about bit size or if I talk about, codes and all, I wouldn't, unless you're really used to it, you won't be able to make any this thing, understanding the data. So that is where platforms like Excel, Power BI come into play. They help you visualize, they help you, give you insights onto what that data means. And this is what our team or the CNB on team is going to cover later on in the webinar as well as in their course. Smita, the last slide for me. If you could change the slide, yeah. So there are multiple practical use cases and application which Tiju will be covering as well. But there is navigational parameter analysis, fuel optimization, predictive analysis, speed consumption curve analysis. These are just a very few of them. There is with AI coming into play. What is the basis of AI? AI, as we say, it's a buzzword today, artificial intelligence. We talk about machine learning, yeah, ML, AI. But what do you need? You need the fundamental, you need the data, you need uh, to feed the AI, yeah, with data. How do you do it? You can use Excel, you can use CSV formats, but you need to know to clean the data. You shouldn't be able to know what data and data analysis means. So I think with that, I'll pass it on to Gaurav and to take it forward, and then I'm available for any questions after this.
Thank you so much, Shailesh. Thanks. That's very, very insightful. And you coming with so many years of experience in using technology and in your current role, I think that makes a lot of sense the way you spoke it as well. So thank you so much for your insights. And we'll have Tiju now come in. And before Tiju comes in, and Smita, you can stop sharing your the slides. Um, uh, we have a poll question on your screen. Excel, what is the level of understanding that you guys have on the Excel? Is it basic? Is it basic to intermediate, intermediate to expert, or expert? So what level are you at? And Tiju will showcase a few use cases of Excel as well in the shipping domain. So over to you, Tiju.
Thanks, Captain Gaurav.
So-
Let us finish the poll.
Sure. You can, in the meantime, just share your screen so that uploads by that time. A few more answers of the poll already. We are there at about 80% participation. Ending the poll and sharing the results. So about 53% of the audience have basic understanding, 26% to intermediate, and lesser even at intermediate to expert, and 1% essentially has fairly good understanding. So good to know the audience, and over to you now, Tiju.
Is my screen visible?
Yes,
And am I audible?
yes.
Thanks, Captain Shailesh, for explaining and giving us an overview about what is data and why data is more important, why data is considered as a new oil. Initially, let me introduce myself. I am Tiju Chandy. I'll be conducting the classes for you also. I'm a marine chief engineer basically, and I am also doing maritime digitalization consultancy. And these are the major expertise area I have. It is like digital transformation, ML, Python, ETL, SNIME analytics, etc. I just want to touch upon topic why we have to learn Excel. I'm not talking about any other thing which nicely covered by Captain Shailesh. So why Excel is the tool to be learned right now? Because it is widely accessible. Unlike any other tool, like you learn Python, which needs coding skills and all, but it is not available. Right now, if you look at most of the companies, the cybersecurity is very high. So you cannot, even if you know another tool, you cannot install it. But Excel, by default, it is there. It is available on board, on vessels computers, everybody's laptops. You go anywhere, you have an Excel sheet, you copy it in a pen drive, take it anywhere, and immediately it becomes useful. And it is very user friendly. No big setups required. Just start a Excel page, sheet, and you can just start learning. Its interface is so familiar, and learning curve is very gentle. Yeah, we can learn things very fast. And it's a self-sufficient tool. Like if you look at other tools and all, you may have to put on add-ons, you may have to install packages. Nothing. It is by itself self-contained tool. And it provides enhanced data understanding. You can use it for organizing, analyzing, and interpret data efficiently for better decision making. It's high accuracy and reliability. The main thing is like for a calculation, something, say for a node report calculations or something, or cargo calculation, once you set up the Excel file, make the formulas correct, put correct data validations, then it works. It always gives you the correct results. So you can minimize errors. So even if it's a small thing on board, you don't have to start using calculators and paper. It is better to make an Excel sheet, put your formulas there, check it, put in data validations, and then it is good and it will work forever without any fault, with high accuracy and reliability. And it is very powerful and versatile, and we will see the power of Excel in full depth in the coming courses. From simple calculation to data analysis, Excel meets a wide range of business needs, which is amazing when you deep dive into Excel. Then along with this spreadsheet operations with numbers and tests, you have powerful data visualization. You can create charts, graphs, dashboards, and create trends. And we can, using these trends, it is very easy for communicating with any third party, your boss, or you can use in the personal way. And this visualization convey more insights than showing the just a table of data. You can love or hate Excel, but you cannot escape Excel. Excel is an essential skill in your current job. Whether you are at sea or land, regardless of your feelings towards it, it is a tool which should be learned. However, if you're passionate, like Captain Shailesh was telling, if you're passionate about it, once you learn and you see that this is very interesting, data handling is the thing for you, you might think about advancing your education in data analysis and data science, acquiring programming skills in languages like Python. And additionally, you could contemplate a career shift, as there are numerous opportunities for individuals with these kind of skills, as Dr. Shailesh said, and the person to go for it is Captain Gaurav Rana. He will have a lot of opportunities with that. So individuals with these kind of technical skills and domain expertises are in high demand now. Okay. Now, most of the people have a good amount of knowledge of Excel. Some are basic, some people in the poll said they are experts also. But most of the people must have learned it by themselves. But then why a course is required? So I will just discuss a little bit about my journey or my story. Why a Excel training is required. I started using Excel way back in late 90s. Just like that for personal and office work. I made hundreds of sheets over these years, but never took any proper Excel courses. I thought I know enough by waste time in learning, etc. But then in 2022, during the COVID period and all, I joined a top shipping company for the digitalization project. And my very first task was to create a system to collect, organize, and analyze monthly reports from hundreds of ships. They were all in Excel format. We identified 15 critical forms that needed to be redesigned in Excel and sent out to the entire fleet. So the total number of Excel files go beyond 8,000 files. So you can imagine one small mistake in these forms is a big disaster. Imagine trying to correct these and resend this file to hundreds of ships. Another disaster, right? So that's when I realized I need to learn Excel properly. I joined a structured course and it was a shocker. I've been using only 10 to 20% of Excel's power. So I realized many of my old sheets could have been made faster, smarter, better, and error-proof by this new knowledge. After months of learning and testing, we finally deployed a rock-solid system, which was adopted fleet-wide. And the moral of story is, you can survive with self-taught tricks, but to really own it, a domain-specific structured course is required. So what are the benefits? Benefits of taking course to learn Excel. You'll get a personalized guidance, get instant answers to your questions, and tailored explanation based on your skill level. Structured learning path. We will be covering everything. Otherwise, You will be learning from here and there. This will be a well-organized curriculum. Then hands-on practice and feedback. Receive real-time corrections and best practices. How to create a, if it is a bigger project, how to separate things, how calculation to be separated, the settings should be separated, etc. We will be demonstrating and teaching. Another thing is when you are having a course for a particular industry, it's an opportunity to network and learn from the peers. Then time efficient. We all lack time, so we can skip the trial and error phase and expert teach you the most efficient methods right from the start. Real world applications, you will learn from your own industry, and motivation, because you have to keep timing, stay committed for the classes, assignments, progress tasking, tracking, etc. Then finally, you will get certification and career support from the for the new job prospects. Now, I just want to show you one particular dashboard which I have been using as a chief engineer. I'll take questions later, but if you look at this in a chief engineer's perspective covers most of the things. The data for this Excel dashboard is fed from two separate sheets. One is the noon report sheet, which every ship has. Every ship chief engineer maintains, where he enters the counters and calculate the fuel, lube oil consumption, etc. Another one is sounding table, sounding sheet, where every day the duty engineer gets the tanks get sounded and he enters the data. And this data is coming to this sheet, but so you have to see these three sheets are interacting with each other. So data from two different sheets are coming here. So now if you look at this area, this shows see, I have bit all data, so it is 23rd September 24. So please consider that today is 23rd September 24. So when I come and open this, I know that these tanks are like, this tank is 8.6% full, this is 51% full, and I have so much of sludge. And this is the trend of waste oil tank for the past 30 days. So if I change the date, you can see the graph also changes. Okay. Same with freshwater. How was the ROB of the freshwater moving? How the production is going, consumption is going. So just looking at this and this chart, I can immediately spot if something abnormal is happening. If there is a huge increase in the waste oil tank, or there is too much of consumption in the freshwater, I can point out. Is the production reduced? We can point out immediately. Rather than looking into the number, just looking at this graph, I can make out there is something gone wrong. This is freshwater production and consumption for the past 30 days. This line is the production line. This line, this area is consumption line, and wherever green is coming, that is where we made extra water than what we produced. Now, this is the graph of the total sludge, and you can make out that this point we have discharge sludge to a march, and then it's slowly coming up. Looking at this also, we can make out how's the sludge condition is there. Because, you know, for chief engineer, sludge levels are very important, because he may be getting a sludge disposal opportunity in only 3-4 months, and the incinerator performance, all issues. And this is that particular day's chart. Here you come, it is from the noon report, and this is how exactly the logbook is designed. That particular ship, that particular company's logbook. So if today is 8th of October, after checking all the known report, I come here, I just have to copy these numbers. I'll just copy that number to logbook. It saves a lot of time, because otherwise, if you look at this sheet, is a broad sheet. You have to go find each and every number for that date, and then then note it down and write in the notebook. This is good enough. Then this is a duplication daily chart. This is also from the known report, but this is exactly the way the logbook is there in that company. So I don't have to look into anything, no Excel sheet row I have to scan. I can just come here for the 8th of October 2024. This is the value. And you can go anytime in the past and see how the things were. And there were some plans which I have not completed now. So this is wage consumption and all. So by the end of the course, you should be able to make such sheets, such dashboards to cater your needs. Your need will be different, your needs. And if time permits, I try to demonstrate one more use case. That's all from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Back to
Tiju, thank you. And it's really nice of you to, take out time and show the relevant use case. I mean, it's an amazing sheet. I did not see this 30-day trend within one cell of a Excel sheet before. So that's really nice to see. Amazing work, Tiju. And thanks for, taking out time to train people who would like to know more about Excel and BI in our course. So thanks so much.
thank you.
Moving over now, let's hear from Captain Amandeep Singh Bhalla. Captain Amandeep is the Marine Head India for the MICO, and the MICO did take the Excel BI course, and he could probably talk a little bit more about how they plan to take the course, why did they take the course, and the benefits that they realized out of it. Tiju, if you could stop sharing the screen, and then Captain Amandeep could start sharing the screen, please.
Yeah, first of all, good afternoon to all of you. Hope I am audible and clear.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah. Thanks for inviting me on the panel, Gaurav, and also being a user for this course, learner for this course 2 years back. It's a pleasure to be on the panel and share our experience. First of all, congratulations to you and your team to repeatedly coming out with this webinar and guiding the marine industry, the benefits about this course. And all the inputs what Captain Shailesh has given and Tiju are more or less my point of view to take this course before we, not equipped the course given by the sea and beyond. Okay, so as usual, like any other company, shipping company, we also have a lot of data coming in from various processes and the functions which are being handled ashore from the ships internally, from the offices, and most of them were, through the Excel sheets, the data coming in the form of Excel sheets and getting dumped. So data collection and data building was always there internally in the company. And to handle the Excel files, they have their own struggles, large Excel files, multiple Excel files, then data inconsistency. There has been a lot of issues, and on top of it, untrained staff or the people who are not very familiar with the core and advanced function of Excel sheets. There is always a danger to have a wrong data and then which will lead to, the wrong analysis. So we have struggled, like any other organization, we have struggled about this because as the ships kept on growing, the office structure kept on growing, the data has been increasing. So after looking into this scenario and being a leader to my team, I was always on an outlook to find out an appropriate course or tool where the team can be better informed, trained to handle the Excel sheets. But somehow there was no appropriate course which was available for us related to the marine domain, marine industry. And Seeing and Beyond being a approved service provider for our company, this is how I came in contact with Captain Gaurav, and one day discussed about these things. And it was a mutual understanding, and they agreed to develop some kind of tailor-made course for our organization and to help us, And the idea was just to start it up with one team as a Marine. But then after a month's discussion, we landed up 4 of our department to join for this course: Marine, Technical, PMS, and Fleet Performance. And the course, which was supposed to be for 5 to 7 people, we landed up, I think, 40 odd candidates out of my organization. So it was a huge task for C and Beyond to tailor and structure this course to cater, something or the other for each department. And we were very happy how the team has come out, especially Jayashri, Tiju, Gaurav Kullu, all have chipped in and bring something or the other for this course for our team. And I'm happy to share that after doing this course, now the people are utilizing it to a great extent. At least the people are very clear about now the various Excel-based functions, which is simplifying their job, time management. They are able to make Excel tables, pivot tables, conditional formatting, data validation, you name a function, which is, if not expert, but then at least intermediate to expert user for Excel sheet. And apart from doing this, simplifying their job and utilizing the Excel to the most, now from about now 6 to 9 months back, all the data through these sheets, we are able to integrate into a Power BI dashboard, which is giving a realistic, overview of various performances and live status of our KPIs, which we are making up or we are lacking. And most importantly, the Power BI is now providing us, the transparency and the set layout at a click of point. So this has been a very helpful course for me and my team. And recently we concluded a seminar in our organization, and there was also a part of ICT team when they brought out the topic about AI affecting the uh, shipping industry, and Copilot and the other aspects. So and Power BIs and all, how the things are working. So I was very happy to share with my co-workers in the various offices across the world that we are using this tool uh, internally and developing our own dashboards. Of course, our ICT team has a much better domain to work and dashboard running, but this was something very happy to share with them, and they were very keen to understand. that we are utilizing this tool. Okay. Now moving on, as Tiju has shown the live case where this data has been utilized to make the analysis better. I also want to show to the entire participants how after doing this course, the data simplification and analysis happened for few of our processes. So if I may share my screen,
Yes,
let me know if the screen is visible.
sure. It's visible.
It's visible. Okay. So this is one of the process whereby our KPI is to analyze the audits, internal audits. You can see on the side the amount of data which has been getting fed to this BI. A lot of Excel sheets at the side, various audits, their observations, findings, then corrective actions, a lot of data. And this is how the dashboard is coming out and which is live. So this is the data for our last analysis done annually, last half. And everything is available to us over here. We can sort, we can set filter, we know what to analyze and how to share to the entire fleet just by sharing this presentation, the dashboard. Another tool, the vetting analysis. When so much data is available on vessels and the feed coming through OKM or through our internal files, it was really a task to get analysis done and to find out, pinpoint where the improvements are required and what is to be done. So you can see amount of data for a vetting, chapter wise, category wise. This is all coming in. This is the latest for SIRE 2.0, which is coming from our internal SMS, which we are trying to fed to our dashboard. And all kind of filters, all kind of possibilities are there for us now. And just a click of a button, I can see my Q1, I can see my Q2, I can go into a repetitive observations, I can see the category wise, and everything just pop outs and gives a view to me as a manager to look into and to draw something out of it, that where is our gaps, where are our concerns to improve upon. Uh, uh, Also, a very nice feed we are using is our mooring software, wherein we are using a service provider for a mooring software, but then we are not only dependent upon the dashboard for that software. We are integrating the data coming out from the software to our own internal dashboard. And this is all developed by my team, who has understood much better the concept after attending this course. So the person behind this was already having a lot of interest to develop the data, but then after doing a course, it was much better output coming. So you can see my entire fleet is having the data at a click. I can get the tails data, I can get the ropes data, number of ports, if any incident has happened, all kind of data churning I can do from here, and the feeds are live. The data is coming in. That was a dashboard. Then these are the ropes in a fleet, loose ropes on winch. All of the data is available. So overall, I can say that it's been a very fruitful course which we have undertaken through Sea and Beyond, and it's a live experience you can all feel, which is coming in, and we have just been started. Now, my team, after 2 years, So 1 year was just what we did, the course, and then how to utilize it, because as usual, in 30, 40 days, the course finish and then data using. So for first 6 to 9 months, everybody was trying to learn more what was taught by Jayashri or Tiju or Gaurav, and then start implementing. The next 6 to 9 months have this all dashboards development. And now my team is so inquisitive. They are asking for a next course, maybe a AI-based course where with this more enhanced dashboard can be developed or the data can be drawn out. And they are more keen to learn and work on this. So this is a absolute fantastic response from the people, and what else a manager requires if a team is so motivated and try to play with the data rather than getting afraid, and it is very, very helpful. So this is our journey to do this, undergo the course from C and beyond. And again, my compliments to entire team to bring out this course, and may you keep on refining new things in this course and make it more value, and definitely it is going to stay along in our industry. Once again, thank you for having me here, and after the presentations, we are all available for any questions for us. Thank you, Gaurav.
Thank you so much, Captain. Just the proof of the pudding is in the eating, and I'm really glad that it's being implemented. It's making sense in the company. It's making the work much more efficient. One thing I may also point out is that a lot of companies, when they take similar courses, they probably ask the junior staff or maybe mid-management staff to take the course, and there is probably less interest from the top management. But with you, and this is something which I also request a lot of companies, that if you're taking a course, it is very important for the senior management to also take this course, because once they understand how this can be beneficial, they are more motivated to implement it fleet wide. And kudos to you and your senior staff to also take so much of interest and build upon whatever we delivered. So thank you so much. And now I should have Jayashri, who would talk more about the course curriculum. How is it planned? What all on day-wise basis, what all is there? So if I could have Jayashri speak a little bit more about the curriculum. Smita, if you could share the slide in the meanwhile.
Yes, sir.
Hello, guys. I hope I'm audible. Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm really amazed with the output which I can see on the screen, the dashboards. And I think so that now participants, you may be having a thought that if I can just make the same, like the others are creating. And yes, you can very easily. The only thing is we have to be very good with the concept. I personally, being a trainer, I'm a corporate trainer. So when I go to industry, I realize that the problem is people are not focusing on understanding the concept. If you have been using Excel, the technique is somebody write the XYZ formula and you continue using that for years without knowing exactly what is the interpretation of the formula. How can I manipulate the formula to work better for me? And that is what, as Teju sir rightly said, that's the thing that if you go within course, you do understand the concepts better. You understand how to read the formulas. You understand how to understand the sequencing of the parameters, why they play an important role. And then personally, I am in love with using the keyboard smartly, because when you're working on huge data set, going with your mouse, changing up those actions is really challenging. So during the entire training, our focus will be one, that you use your keyboard very smartly. I'll be instructing you always that go with this shortcut key that will help you. On the screen, if you can just see, this is an outline which have been created by taking the input from the experts. So we have got those inputs from the maritime people who are working in the industry, that in the daily basis, what are the things we use more? Because see, Excel is in kind of in C, which you cannot compete. Even me as a trainer after 13 years, I cannot say that I know everything in Excel. But then you don't need to know, in fact, everything. You just need to focus on the area of your interest, the areas of the functionalities which will help you to do your work easier. So to begin with, maybe like we have taken the poll at the start. Max of you, like 50% of the audience is like on the basic level. So we'll start with that only. I'll just go. But like I always keep on checking. As in trainer, I keep on checking how the audience is. So I'll give you some tasks at the start to just check how you do that. And with that, we'll begin. The technique of the entire training will be, there will be some workbooks, some data sets shared by our side to you. You'll be working along with us. So like if I'm showing you something on my screen, once I'm done, I'll be giving you some random time of 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, depending on the task, and you'll be executing it then and there. And that's what is more important, because unless you do the things at your end, maybe the concepts are not clear. I would be waiting for you to let me know, are we done? Are we good with the concept? If you have any relevant question related to the same, you're free to ask then and there only. Or otherwise, towards the end of every session, you'll be, free to ask your questions. On day one, when we'll be starting, we'll be having a look onto the simple concepts just to, have a good hands-on on the window. Then we'll understand the concept of referencing, which again, I'm still strange. Why people working in industries are not still aware of the concept of referencing. How can they work without referencing is what I feel. So we'll be understanding that concept, why that plays an important role. We'll be understanding how to write logical formulas. In Excel, when you're working, you have to keep a thought process that the outputs which you're creating should be dynamic. Many do go with bringing the output. I know you all can bring the outputs, but then you go with very static or rigid way. So you'll be understanding how to make the report to the max at an automation level, that the things will change automatically when your inputs are changing. So for that, one of the functionality which you'll be using a lot is a kind of an if functionality, is if it and, if it or, the nested IFS, the new function in 365 called as IFS, which is a good substitute for nested if. So we'll be covering that. Conditional formatting, that's an amazing tool because it helps you to highlight. If you remember, Tiju sir was showing up a report, a dashboard, where there were a few things which were highlighting automatically. That's what conditional formatting is. So I don't want to go and give a red color whenever the value is 50%. I want that when my value is changing, it should get formatted automatically. So we'll be learning of that. That is roughly what we'll be covering on our day one. On day two, we'll be having a look onto data cleaning, which is again a big prob. When we get an input, it's all dirty data. You need to do lots of transformation on the data before you go with building the reports. So we'll be understanding some cleaning techniques, how to make the data perfect. We'll be understanding how to use statistical functions so that, conditional based actions can be taken up. Like you want to add, but then there are conditions that if this 3 or 4 conditions are okay, then you want to add something. So we'll be covering that. When you are writing the formulas which are within the workbooks, you do face a challenge that, navigating from one sheet to the, selecting the data, then coming back. So there is an amazing feature again you have called as Name Manager, which helps you to do that task just by sitting at one place. So we'll be covering even that. We'll be understanding how to give data validations. That again plays an important role. If you're working at the top management level and you allow your users to feed data for you, the problem you may have faced is the column was expecting to be a numerical values only, or it was expecting a text but with a certain length. But then the XYZ person have written something wrong, and now you have to sit and correct them. So with data validations, you can just prevent of those things. So we'll be checking how to give data validations. We are going to give you assignments also on whatever you have learned in that particular day. And you'll be getting a time span of a week. So, once we are done with Saturday and Sunday sessions, you'll be taking up a week. You'll be working on those assignments that will help you to do a quick recap of what we have learned and see if the concept of really good or not. If not, on day 3, we can just take up it back again. Can I just get the next slide, Smita, please? So that was about day 1 and day 2, session 1, session 2. On session 3, you'll be understanding the concept of, again, cleaning, but then with an inbuilt tool called as splitting the data by text to column. You'll be understanding some date functionalities over there. And then you'll be going with an amazing feature called as lookup. Again, we are still working on VLOOKUP, but then there are lots of new functionalities available. So we'll be covering that, like how to write index, what is the purpose of match. If you're lucky to work on 365, we'll be using the XLOOKUP functionality, which is really amazing and easy to go for. Again, some assignments on that feature, we'll be covering that. On day 4, you'll be understanding the concept of table. I have always been asking this, do you know the concept of table? And I always get a response, yes. And for maths, table is nothing but a data set which you have. But that's not true. Table is something different. It has amazing properties. So we'll be checking up those properties of table. We'll be learning how to give a visual impact to the data we have. Because when you have a text data, it is challenging to understand or read. But if you show the same thing in graphical format, it becomes easier to compare. We always want to compare, to do the comparison and be on the analytical part more. So we'll be learning how to create pivot tables, use them as in chart format, and then build a small dashboard also. That's the topic we'll be covering. So, every session will be of 3 hours, but then the logic will be, I'll be taking up on Saturday 3 hours maybe, and then the next day, Tiju sir will come, because when you'll be working with me, it will be a generalized data, a normal data set which anybody can understand. But then if you want to, maybe you want to have a look onto how the same logic can be applied on maritime data. So Teju sir will help you to understand on the specific data sets, that this is the problem statement, and that's how, with the logic of whatever you have learned before, you can apply the things. And then the things will be more clear to you. The picture will be more clear. Don't worry, the entire session will be on hands-on basis, and everything will be recorded also for you. So I think so you'll be enjoying the learning process. Just make sure, guys, that you really enjoy the learning process. You'll get a better input. That's all from my side. I hope you're good with understanding what are the course contents, the outline of MS Excel. Thank you, guys. We'll take the questions if you have any towards the end.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jayashri. Jayashri is a wonderful trainer. I can tell you that, and we've been lucky to have her, and we've been collaborating for the past 2 years. The way she explains the concept, the patience she has, the way she handles all the participants, and is able to attend to each and every query. That's really amazing. And thank you so much, Jayashri, for your time over here. Let's move on to Power BI now. And Smita, you may stop sharing the slide now. And let's first take a poll from the audience in terms of what's your level of understanding on Power BI. Have you heard of it? You've heard but never used. You've used it a couple of times, or you've used it a lot. And once we hear from you about this on this poll, we'll have Gaurav Kullu come in and talk us through about what can Power BI do for us. So, Gaurav, you may start sharing the slide whenever you're in.
Okay. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. And I'm happy to bring up another edition of our course, Excellent Power BI. So let me quickly share the screen.
Great. Let me end the poll, and I'm sharing results. 71% most have heard but never used, which is good, because in our last few webinars, many had not even heard of Power BI. I'm glad a few have used it a couple of times as well. So I'm seeing that there is, more and more audience are now are aware of the tools, and probably, hopefully, some are using it as well. So yeah, over to you, Gaurav, now.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear my voice?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. So it's really amazing. I was saying that it's really amazing that people are getting aware of the various tools, at least, and somewhere they have the interest to learn more about these tools, and they find importance of these tools also. So now, while we were designing the course, the very first thing that comes in our
Or
mind.
do you want to have a full screen mode, or this is okay for you?
Yeah, sure. Make it full screen. Great.
Thank
So the question comes, why Power BI? So of course, Excel, we all know, is the foundation stone. Without Excel, I think it's really difficult, and especially in the maritime industry, where it comes to transferring data and all, Excel stands out. But now going beyond Excel, there are some disadvantages, or let's say some places where Excel runs short. So Power BI certainly is one of the great tools. But now looking at why exactly Power BI. So Power BI, we had tried to, the entire analytics, we tried to break it down into various users like analyst, visualization specialist, data engineers, and data scientists. And you will find that what are the common tools or they usually use. So as an analyst, you will use Excel, MySQL, Power BI, or Tableau, tools like these. As a data visualization specialist, Power BI, Tableau, and Looker. As a data engineer, tools like SQL, MongoDB, Hadoop, and other talent and many other tools are used by a data engineer. And as a data scientist, then there are much more like Python, RScript, Apache. But very commonly, you will see that Power BI is used almost by everyone and anyone, right? So it actually forms one of the most important tools when it comes to data analytics. Further, if we go into this survey carried out by Gartner, and in this visualization, you will see that Microsoft actually is categorized as the leader in the industry, right? Leader in the analytics and power business and intelligence platforms. So Microsoft as a whole, the complete Microsoft's, that product, right? It comes under the leadership role. Of course, there is Tableau and Qwilk also. There are other tools like Google, Amazon, AWS, Zoho, but they are still far behind as compared to Power BI and Tableau. So indeed, Microsoft Power BI is one of the most important, and I would say we should probably go with learning Power BI. One more important thing is that when we talk about availability of the software, Power BI is freely available. You can download it on your Microsoft laptop or desktop, and you can install it, and you can use the desktop version for free. Whereas when it comes to Tableau, unfortunately, it is only available for a very short duration of time. It's freely available for a, I think, 30-day period or something like that. So for seafarers, it becomes difficult to actually spend time and learn the software becomes a little challenging. So that's another reason why we should focus on Microsoft Power BI. Okay. Now here's just a set of data. Now you can see there's a table, and some figures are written over here. There's a month and the amount of sales for product A. Similarly for product B, C, and D. Now, if a data with just 12 rows is presented to you, and if I give you 10 seconds or maybe even 20 seconds, or let's say 1 minute, and I ask you, what do you take out from this data? Can you understand anything from it? The answer would be no. Actually, why? Because our mind, our brain is not programmed to understand data in a tabular form, right? So a lot of data is generated, as we have discussed earlier. Captain Aman, Captain Shailesh, both have discussed that so much of data is being produced today and being transferred ashore, and it comes to the office, and we need to analyze them. So if we just keep it to the tabular form, honestly speaking, we cannot analyze any of those. But the moment we change this data into visuals like this, now within seconds, I'm sure you can clearly make out some insights. You can clearly see what is happening, right? So this is the power of data visualization, and why data visualization should be done, so that it is much easier to find out where action points are there, what has been done. You can actually do a lot of analysis and come out with insights. You can do optimizations, etc. Right? So data visualization is certainly important. And Power BI, one of the main functions of Power BI is data visualization. Right? Now, coming to the analysis flow, how does the data analysis flow happens? So basically, it starts with the understanding the business case. Right? We need to understand what is the business case, what is the need, what is the problem statement that we are trying to solve. So it all starts with the step one, that is the understanding the business case. From there on, once we have understood, we need to build a measurement plan where we have to define them very precisely, that how are we going to find the solution for this business case or for this problem statement. Based on that plan, we go to the step step 3, which is collecting and preparing the data. So once you have prepared a plan for building and addressing to the problem, you start collecting the data. Now, in this case, in our case, basically what we do is the ships are the source of data. Ships are the providers of the data. So ships basically provide the data through various sensors, through various means, either manually or automatically through sensors. And most importantly, there is something called high frequency data and low frequency data and all. So whichever way, there are so many equipments, VDRs included, which are transferring the data from ship to shore. So basically, data are collected. Once the data is collected, at shore, the data analytics guys, they basically try to understand the data, they clean the data, and they compare it with their business, the measurement plan, whether the data is relevant or not. If it is not, then go back to step 1, come back to step 4. If you find, yes, the data is sufficient, then we move on to the next step, which is analyze and visualize the data. Right? So this is where you have to clean the data, you have to organize the data properly, you have to feed the data into various tools, whether it is Excel or Power BI or Tableau, whichever you are using. And then coming to a develop data-driven insights. Once you have made the visuals, it is also important to actually derive the insights from it. Otherwise, visualizations alone by itself is of no use unless you are deriving any insights out of this, right? And finally, you have to measure, test, and optimize the entire data, right? Now, in this course, basically, we'll be focusing on the analyzing and visualizing the data and develop a data-driven insight, wherein Power BI comes into play, right? So this is where we'll be focusing in this course, where we will learn how to import the data from the raw data set into the Power BI, how to build how to write few DAX functions, how to finally build book using all the data and addressing to the business case, right? So this is what we'll be learning in this Power BI course. And yeah, I think that is all from my end. So the course basically is structured in 2 days. There will be 2 online sessions, and then we will be having a doubt clearing session as well. And during the session, what we will do is we will also provide you with maritime focused data. So it's not that we'll be working on some non-relevant data, but more focused to maritime industry. And using that, we will be building a dashboard along with me in the class, and we'll give you one more assignment which you will have to prepare on at your own end. So basically, that's how we have planned this course, and I think I'll be more than happy to take your questions towards the end, and probably Gaurav, over to you. You can take it from here.
Thank you so much, Gaurav. And Gaurav Kullu over here, my colleague, has got himself trained, has used BI, has trained people now for the last year and a half, 2 years. So thank you so much for giving those insights and of course training a lot of people as well. A quick summary of the course, and a lot of you have been asking on the price, so I'll quickly take that through. This entire course is 20 hours. Excel is 12 hours, 4 sessions, 3 hours each. Power BI, 4 hours, 2 sessions, 2 hours each. We will have doubt clearing session. We will have presentations done by you so that this is to ensure that you have a hands-on learning as well. And important thing is that you'll have to practice it over and over again as well, so that it helps you, so that you are up to speed every time. The dates, it will be on Saturday, Sunday. So starting from next Saturday, Sunday, then the next Saturday, Sunday, 10 to 1 p.m. And then this goes on and on. We've got Power BI then going on to the next weekend as well. We will share this with all of you. The pricing is, if you only take Excel, it's 6499. If you take Power BI as well, and it's the same cost. And if you take both of them, then it's 12499. We are also offering a 10% discount on each course for the first 10 participants only. That's the pricing of the course as such. You may connect with us. The numbers are written, the email ID we will write, and the link for booking is also mentioned in the chat. We will put it in the chat window as well. We are happy to take any questions which we have. I see, I mean, a lot of you have been here for the last 1.5 hours, so thank you so much for being here. But I'll quickly go through the chat window and take some of the questions which are there as well. All right. Let me start from the first one. Is from JS Walia. And let me ask Tiju to possibly take this. Tiju, do you feel that data scientist jobs will still exist after coming of AI?
Hi, data scientist jobs will definitely exist. But how it is done, that job is done maybe with an assistance of AI. It is not like the data scientist job is absolutely taken away by AI. Because see, most of the time nowadays, LLM is widespread and everybody uses ChatGPT, DeepSeek and all. But there are limitations for LLI. They are not specifically created for data scientist job. You have to understand the difference between a data scientist and a data analysis. Data scientists are the people who uses tools like Python, and they use regression modeling or classifications or clustering problems, etc. They are not the people who are doing the dashboards or Excel. They are data analysts. So data scientists are actually the people who creates AI. So that data scientist job is definitely going to be there, and data analysis job also is going to be there. But in future, uh, we may be taking assistance of AI tools.
Understood, Tiju. Understood.
Yeah.
Thanks. I have a question for Shailesh. He's on a call right now. I'll probably take that later on. Onkar, I've answered to your question, but for benefit of everyone, this is a live course, live online course. We will give you the recording of that course though. So you'll have the recording available for the next 1 year, which you can see the course later on as well. Priyanshu, it's chargeable. We have already shared the charges of the fees of the course. Smita, if you can also put it in the chat window in terms of what are the course fees and how a person can book along with the links. Arun, it's an interesting question. Let's say we are making a requisition in Excel in format A and vendor is giving details and quotes in format B. How to compare with less span of time, or is there any way to swap the data as per format A? Jayashri, would you want to take this? You're on mute.
So basically the point is, in formatting also you have lots of things. What exactly do you mean by formatting? Is that you are talking about the layout? Then yes, in Power BI, you have an option of, combining the two files or comparing them automatically. Or you can see in Excel also, you have a concept of Power Query, which can help you to compare it automatically. Or if you want to swipe, like you want to just change that data to a different format, then again, you can just simply write simple formulas of if, compare the values, and then change them on a new sheet. But that output cannot be changed on the same place then and there. But yes, on a new sheet, you can easily take that. So I think so you'll have to elaborate it more or give us a sample example exactly what type of data you get in two different formats. Then maybe we can help you out. But yes, it can be done. There are lots of ways of doing it. Just depend exactly how the input is and what are you expecting at the output. But we can.
Okay, Gaurav, I'm available for the question.
Yeah, you're back. All right. Shailesh, there's a question from Captain Ashok Gogia, and he was asking to discuss the effect of data analytics on commercial shipping, such as fixtures, chartering, voyage estimation, late time calculation. I think very pertinent question in today's day and age.
Yeah, I would say, Captain Gogia, firstly, thank you so much. And it is a very, very relevant question in today's mindset. And I know from where you're coming from, being a commercial guy yourself. But, sir, I will just break it down. I'll go a step behind and I'll go a step further. What the answer is. A step behind is data standardization, data collection. That is what you need to first do, or that needs to be done. The second step is data analysis that you are asking for. But sir, the industry today is way beyond data analysis. It is using predictive AI to actually give you more insights. So I'll give you an example again, being in commercial for the last 12 years myself. Today, as you mentioned about fixtures and you spoke about lay time, demurrage and everything, let's take a very practical example. A vessel is to be fixed into uh, Bombay or Mumbai, for example, here, and this fixture is supposed to happen. The fixture is ongoing, and as a chartering guy, I want to have the best estimate. The loading is expected to take mid of May next month from Japan, and it is expected to arrive in Mumbai somewhere mid of July or early mid of June or early July. Now the thing is, I want to have the best estimate that is possible, and so that I need to see if the voyage is profitable for me or not profitable for me. So the first step is I will collect all the data. That is what everyone does. They see what the market trends are, what the market this thing is. We put in our various Excel sheets, the platforms that most of the commercial platforms the companies are using, and they make a best estimate. But that best estimate is basis today. That is where the data analytics come into play, yeah, with respect to what the numbers are and how profitable or is the voyages, or if it would go into a loss. But what the future is going to take is, this is where AI is coming into play, is the models or the platforms are taking the weather consideration, the historic weather in the month of July that Mumbai will face, and take into consideration what is the port turnaround time, what is the amount of waiting that is going to be there. Basis that, the future is going to be estimating the more realistic voyage estimates, if it is profitable or in loss. So, Captain Gogia, I know you're smiling because it sounds it sounds too futuristic. But the thing is, there are already companies which are doing it. They're estimating these basis the ML models with all the data that has been around, and making a more accurate estimate. So when a vessel comes into Mumbai, it is expected to be at anchorage for 4 days. It is expected to be in the berth for 3 days. And basis that, it is a more better estimate compared to a 1 day or a 2 day turnaround that we will expect. So this is where analytics and a bit more future on the AI that is being used for commercial and chartering purposes. I hope I answered that question, Captain.
I'm sure you did.
Thank you very much, Captain Shailesh. My only doubts were being a very dynamic industry, having constant changes, whether it is weather, whether it is the port, whether it is the infrastructure. How does it help you to keep updating your analysis? That is the difficult part which I felt here.
So, Gaurav, can I answer that? Yeah. So the thing is, we keep talking about AI. Yeah, today. It is a buzzword today, but let me tell you, sir, AI was coined in 1956. Yeah, so it's no longer, it is not a new thing. It is the first Alan Turing test was in 1950 that it was the Turing test was done. So AI has been around. Only thing is, it is only today that we have the computing power. Yeah, today we have the possibility of getting insightful, or as I can say, clean data, high frequency data, more accurate data to do better predictive analysis or to do, compute the outcome. So this is where the number of inputs. So you're a chattering guy, as you should know. Today, if I want to do an estimate, I not only need the fuel consumptions, I also need to see what is the turnaround time, what is the agency cost, what is the weather conditions going to be, how the bunkering is going to be, where am I going to bunker, how long is it going to take. This is where data analytics or the predictive side of AI is going to feed in the historical data and give you a prediction. And it is already going on in the market, as we do a bit of that as well. It is already quite common in the market right now. It is just going to improve in accuracy, sir.
Thank you very much, Captain Shailesh Vambani. I really appreciated that. I knew a little bit of it, but you have actually expressed total clarity in it. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Always welcome, sir. Pleasure is mine.
Thank you, Shailesh. Thanks, Captain Gogia, for a very, very relevant question. The next set of questions are about the various opportunities for people who have these skills. And if I may ask all three of you, starting with Captain Amandeep, then Captain Shailesh, then Tiju, you've all worked ashore, working ashore, on how do you look at a new person in your team, one who has the normal skills, and one your marine skills plus Excel skills, and what kind of roles do you think these kind of people people with these skills could get into? So start with you, Captain Amandeep, please.
Yeah, thanks for putting up the question. From my end, I think if I am a person who's going to recruit employee for my team, definitely experience in the marine field is required, and on top of it, if some kind of knowledge or certification for Excel or using the Excel or Power BI is there, is an added advantage, because being using these systems in the processes, and if a person come in with some knowledge of it, will definitely bring more value, and it will save a lot of time for us to train him or make him familiarize with this advancement of Excel or Power BI. So if I say comparing the candidature who applies, definitely someone equipped with the knowledge about this course or about these tools is an added advantage for me to pick up, and definitely this kind of person will have a advantage applying for the role.
Thanks, Captain Amandeep. Captain Shailesh, you're working in a marine tech company. Your views?
Can you just rephrase the question for me? I'm just curious.
Yeah. So basically, if you've got a maritime professional who's got such kind of skills as a basic, what kind of roles could be available more from both a deck side perspective and also from the engineering side perspective?
Okay, very, very relevant question again, Gaurav. I would, but I'll again emphasize on one thing is that it depends on what the candidate wants. So there is no stopping a chief engineer becoming a commercial operator or a master becoming a managing director of a technical ship management company. So it is just what is the the what is the passion that the individual has. But from a company perspective, yes, there are multiple roles that are there. I would say we as a company, or I would say even Aman or anybody else, any other company today, they do not only see that he's a mariner or he's a master mariner or he's a chief engineer or he's from the engine side or from a deck side. What we see is that is an added advantage, yeah, that they are aware of the maritime field, they are aware of the working of a shipboard or how a ship looks like, yeah, or what the operations are. But what helps us evaluating candidates is these kind of courses that you're doing or these kind of knowledge base that you're doing, because when you're on board, you're already given your competency exams. Yeah, you are competent enough to be on the engine side or on the deck side. So any value add like this kind of courses will only help us because our onboarding times become easier. We don't have to teach them the basic of data sorting, or we don't have to teach them, okay, excel kholo, is the graph banao, ye karo. That becomes automatic. And what I like about what I've seen very briefly what Jayashri Kulu does is they go through the basics and fundamentals of data. So that becomes very important for companies to onboard them in various roles, be it in voyage optimization, be it vessel performance, vessel optimization, the making predictive models, using data to come up with remaining useful life. All this needs data analytics, and any base, as long as the basic is clear, fundamental is clear, it's an added advantage. Yeah.
Sorry. Thanks, Shailesh. Tiju, you have any other perspective which you may want to put up? Otherwise, I could go to the next question.
One second. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. Regarding this, I will just share my experience when I was working on in Synergy. We were having a digitalization team and the very ambitious project. And there were a lot of small, it was like small projects to bring together. So we needed a lot of people working on one small projects, another small project. Basically, we were collecting on our initial target was to centralize the data. So we were a couple of mariners, but rest were software guys. And we were finding it very difficult to make them understand our requirements. They are good at technology. And we had some data scientists also. Whenever we say, as somebody was mentioning here, like headwinds, they said, "Oh, just give us numbers. We understand only numbers." Okay, port side and start side doesn't make any sense for them. So we went through a discussion and thought, like, why don't we recruit a couple of mariners and train them on these technologies? And we had a couple of resumes in hand. We conducted some aptitude tests and choose a couple of people from there. And they were actually new to data. We were using a specific tool also for data management. It was a no-code, low-code tool, right? They were all new to them, absolutely. But we conducted a training program for two weeks, and they had on experience. And within 1 month, we could see the difference because the data technology part was same repetitively doing, but the requirement was changing. So it was very easy for us to tell a marinite guy and say that this is the requirement, just a couple of explanation, and he was on the job. And if there is a hardcore technical glitch, he can go to the technical, IT person, and he will clear that out and comes out with the result. At the same time, when we were dealing with the core IT person, we were having very difficulty in making him understand any part of it. What is the relevance of the data? And also a person with IT data skills with a domain knowledge is the perfect person for any such uh, positions. This is from my experience.
Thank you, Tiju. And it's good to hear from three hiring managers across three different companies and domain as well. Let me take a question from Arbindo and Rohit. So to both of you, the participants in this course are not just sailing mariners. They are also marine superintendents, technical superintendents, companies, agency, freight forwarding, logistics company who send their participants as well. So in that view, we have kept this course over the weekend rather than keeping it over a weekday. That's one. Second is that it also requires you to reflect on what you have been taught, right? So it's not just that we've taught you, but we also give you exercises. You have to consume it, you have to use it. And it's better if, at least I think 3 days is required for you to, consume, exercise, use that data in some way or the other. And that's the reason I think at least 3 days is probably required after 2 sessions, but we are giving it a week. And it also bodes well with the people who are working in office. That's the reason why we keep it on weekends. However, if you guys have, say, about 8 to 10 people mariners who want to do it over weekdays, we need a minimum number of people when we could do it over a weekday as well. In terms of certification, you all will get a certification from Sea and Beyond. Basis this certification, you can put it on your resume. People are putting on their resume, and I know 2 to 3 people who have got recruited in good commercial shipping as well as ship management companies who have done these courses and who got recruited. Will a certification give you a recruitment? No, but it will help you to get an interview, right? And how you perform in an interview, that's basically how you would possibly get to your next role, right? There are a lot of other things which also play, but it gives you 2-3 points extra as opposed to a person who's at the same level but who has not done this course. Course, the certification will be provided by Sea and Beyond Current. You'll also be able to put this certification, tag Sea and Beyond, and put it on your LinkedIn as well. So it'll directly sit in your LinkedIn skills in your LinkedIn profile as well. Prem Shankar saying, will you get soft copy of the course material with formula and may not remember? Yes, you will. And let Jayashri talk about this. Jayashri, what kind of reading material, formulas, copy will we be giving to the participants? Please, if you could talk that through.
So basically, as I said to you, you'll be getting multiple files to work along with me. Every file will be having a solved and an unsolved area. So solved file will be holding up all your formulas, why to use that function, and what are the concepts of the parameters, what each parameter is talking about. You'll get that soft copy. So that soft copy is along with an example, better to understand. And now you're asking me for the AI tool. I would say AI tool is a tool which you can learn by yourself, but yes, will help you to understand over here, a bit of commands on how you can give commands to Copilot, or I'll focus more on the new functionalities which are available in 365. But then we do expect that at least 60-70% of the crowd should have 365. So if you have Office 365, we can just switch to those functionalities which are really amazing. They have array functionalities, and that gives you more dynamic impact to the report. So looking onto the crowd, we can just go up with half hour or 1 hour of new concepts which rarely people are aware of. So we'll take up that too.
Thank you, Jayashri. I think that helps a lot. And in our BI one, we will also show you how do you integrate BI with Chat GPT or other LLM tools as well. That's what we will do, Prem Shankar. I think we are approaching 2 hours. There's a long webinar. All of you spend your time over here. Let me launch a poll to understand these people who are now available. How many of you are interested to attend this course, and are you interested on only one or both of the courses? To those who are interested, Smita has already shared the link for registration and the discount coupon as well. The first 10 participants get the discount, and that will become null and void after 10 people register for that course. There are already a few companies who are sending their participants as well, and that's a separate discussion which we are happening. So it's not just at one level. So it will not just be engineers, it will not just be deck officers, not just top four, but it will also be people who are settled ashore, who are in not only mariners, but also people who are in the agency side of things, in the commercial side of things. So it will have a good list of participants who will be in this course. All right, I see about 65% of you have voted. May I have answers from a few more people? All right. I think I'll end the poll. I see a lot of interest in this particular course. About more than 50% of you want to do both the courses. So that's good to know. And let me share one last poll on the feedback question. How did you like the webinar? Did it meet your expectation? How was the session useful for you? And how would you rate the session? Please also write down any improvements that we could do. So anywhere where you would want us to improve in terms of the delivery, in terms of content, whatever it is, we should be happy to improve ourselves. I look forward to a little bit more participation in this poll as well. It gives us insight on how we are doing. All right. I'm ending the poll. I see most of you are happy with the way it has gone, and if the rating is either good or excellent, so that's good to know. I don't see any other questions coming through. Smita, can you again just put in the links in the chat window? Before I end, I would like to thank Captain Shailesh. Shailesh has helped us giving his insights time and again over the last few years. And, he's someone who contributes to the industry, right? How the industry can grow, giving back to the industry as well. So thank you so much, Shailesh. To Tiju, again, he helped to brainstorm what kind of course should be there, what will help the participant, how do we get the marine flavor. He's gone through his own journey, which he explained. So thank you so much, Tiju, for your time as well. And of course, Jayashri, taking out time for explaining, you are yourself very busy, and I know weekend time, you have your family, you have other courses. So thank you so much for giving that time. And Gaurav Kullu, been practicing it, used it, trained people. Thank you for your time. Smita, thanks for the support as well. And to all the participants, without you, of course, we wouldn't be here. So thanks everyone. And nothing else from our side. We will I'll stop the recording, and we'll wait for another couple of minutes if you have any other questions. We will share you the email with the presentation and the recordings as well. So thanks everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Gaurav.
Thank you.